Oh, we can get Ariel to get one of these. Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Amigos show. My name is James Garza. I'm here with my good friend Jin Chao. Hey Jin Chao, how are you?
Oh, yeah, the new cloud guy.
Everyone. Yes, we are sponsored by Tequila AI right there, Tequila AI. So if you need any AI, they make mind-blowingly AI simple. So give them a bell. So today we have a fully packed show, Jin Chao, that we got to talk about. I mean, we've got a lot of things that we got to talk about. A very interesting week this week, but we're going to talk about Musk versus Altman. We got Google's 40 billion bet on Anthropic, Claude Code, and I know this is one that you want to talk about, Jin Chao. Claude Code versus Codex. Why developers are switching. Looking at one here using AI to judge AI evaluations. I know we'll talk about going to talking about still that Claude Code versus versus ChatGPT, where ChatGPT versus 5.5 versus Mythos, and then pretty much we'll wrap it up with there. We got another point, but I think that's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. But it's good stuff, right? It's in my opinion, it's good stuff anyway. I hope the audience is finding this very useful. But from the federal courtroom trying to dismantle the companies that he co-founded. So we'll just get right into this. So it's in the second week, this trial, with Elon Musk stepping back from the stand, and OpenAI President Greg Brockman taking center stage. We know Sam Altman is there as well. Yeah. But this is now defining a legal battle in AI history. So Musk is suing for $134 billion, claiming that Altman and Brockman breached a charitable trust by converting OpenAI from nonprofit to a for-profit organization. So I see a lot of people coming in there. Welcome everyone. Put your comment, if you have questions, put them in there. So what do you think, Jin Chao, about this? That's a big amount of money, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing, the biggest evidence is the Brockman's notebook. Is that him? He has a notebook writing down all the stuff. And they're discussed before a long time. How do they wanted to make OpenAI for profit? But they even mentioned it in the notebook that Musk is not gonna like it. And
yeah, and we see now. I mean, and to put it a little in perspective, I mean, when Musk bought Twitter, that was, I think, was that $41 billion?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's suing for more than 3 times what he bought Twitter. That's a big chunk of money.
Yeah, but he put it in most of the money. But here is a couple interesting things, I think. In the first week, I haven't followed currently from Monday to now. The first week is I think Musk totally win on the evidence or talk he gave. He stand on the moral ground. First is like if I won this 140, how much?
134 billion.
Yeah, if I win this money, I give it to charity. That's one thing, right?
Wow.
And then the jury is basically saying what he showed jury is when he did invest the OpenAI and he wanted to opened like free to the humanity basically. And now what he come back with asking for the money is he can't just change that to for profit and ask for, and then the money he get in the process, it doesn't benefit him. He was saying like give it to the charity. That's one moral ground, right? Straight away. And then you kind of understand it from jury. Jury is all like everyday, ordinary people. Like you're thinking about it, somebody you said something for your friends or whatever group you invested in, and they change their idea and totally kick you out the door. You can see where it's coming from.
Well, I mean, if Musk wins, both Brockman and Altman could be removed from the board.
Yeah.
Well, that's number one. And number two, I mean, you know yourself in regards to the U.S. It's been seen a lot. Is you have like, okay, that's one court. You don't like that ruling, you go to the next one, and you appeal it, and you appeal it, and it goes to a higher and higher and higher and higher court. So with the schedule, this trial is scheduled to be until the end of the month.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
And then the second point of why I think Musk is winning on the first week, right, from what happened there, is the second thing is he bring out a pretty big thing that would change the law if they did let Altman win. So what Musk was saying basically is, you can't just change a nonprofit halfway and to full profit. That would trigger the whole chain reaction of how
it's a whole different entity.
Yeah, how can you how can people actually get money to launch their private company? They can start a whole thing. Let's say, okay, this is nonprofit, and get rich people donate, and then it turn into like full profit. You initially have that startup phase, which is people donating you for the good cause. So this is
and you don't pay taxes either.
Yeah, this is the case. If this Altman wins this later on, so everybody can say, I can do this now. I can I can launch a company, like open source and then non-profit. And halfway through, I can turn into profit. This is 0 and 1. So this is another thing Musk was winning on their side as well. And then during that, I was watching one of those funny thing as well. Is the question from Altman's side. The lawyer kind of asked a stupid question about, like, in the notebook it says, oh, Broadman is trying to give you the shares, I'm back, and why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
Then the Musk was saying, like, is it either shares or equity? And then he was like, how do you have shares in the nonprofit? Like, and then the solicitor was like, you get caught straight away.
Crap.
Is that like a very amateur lawyer? But they are the biggest lawyer to fighting for those big case, like billions of dollars. I just don't know.
There's a lot of money at stake here, man. There's a lot of money at stake, So but one thing that I think that would interest you very well that AI picked up for me here, Claude, in regards to talking about this here, is that Musk admitted on the stand that XAI distills OpenAI models, that it trains on their outputs, and it drew audible gasps. And it's a standard practice to using AIs to validate your AI, he said. And the reason why it's significant is because OpenAI previously accused DeepSeek of the same practice.
Yeah.
And now, it's like, wait a minute, you're doing the exact same thing you're accusing DeepSeek of, and you're doing it.
Right, that's the distillation we talked about before, right? And then OpenAI accused DeepSeek of doing that because DeepSeek has about 30,000 accounts on OpenAI asking questions. So, and the funny thing about this is, like, validate, that's a good talk as well, because remember in March the Claude had some issues. When they released it out, they find out the Claude was kind of worse than before, and they find out some issue, but that's not important. In the process, they start to using more complex model to validate a smaller, less complicated model now. So it's all AI work. They validate the smaller model to do that. That's quite.
But why get humans to do it when you can get AI to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's faster, maybe.
Okay, well, we'll go to the next one. I mean, and I think this is probably one. I wonder what Google's thinking about now. But Google is putting $40 billion in Anthropic. And Anthropic, in fairness, is not a nonprofit organization, and they want to go public.
Yeah.
But they committed up to $40 billion, $10 billion immediately, which is interesting because they have their own Gemini. So why would they put so much money in there? $10 billion and $350 billion.
Yeah, there's news about their open source, something like that. didn't look into too deep yet. But yeah, I'm wondering why they're doing that.
Yeah, it's basically it's interesting because even they're making deals with Amazon. Anthropic is, you know what I mean? Actually, no, it's OpenAI that's made the deal with Amazon. I got that backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a very interesting point. It comes with 5 gigawatts of TPU computing capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically you're saying that Anthropic's annualized revenue is reportedly top 30 billion.
Yeah, I think this year 2026 so far, apart from agentic is a big word, the other big word every people don't talk about or don't talk enough about is a lot of the AI companies changed from 2C to 2B now. What happened? You can see OpenAI, right? And they normally do 2C, but they burn tons of money with Sora, right?
Yeah.
And they remove that.
And it was a big failure.
Yeah. And what they're saying now, or maybe copy their homework, is, oh, look at the Claude. Claude at the very beginning is 2B, right? And trying to making sure developers can code.
Yeah.
And I want to see the Claude Code sell for all the companies. People are really using it. So they run that pipeline of money making, correct? Now. So all the other company was looking into that now. Oh, how can I make it money out of it? That's why we see the Codex from OpenAI, right? They cut out the video components. Let's just focus on the business because business pays, right?
Yeah, that's exactly like, I mean, why do you want, it's always like, for example, if you go to a burger place and you order wings, like they're known for their burgers, they're not known for their wings. So why are you ordering wings? And it's like you're saying, like, do one thing well, do it well. You know what I mean? And stick to what you do well. I mean, like if you just give it an idea, if you go to a restaurant and you see like 5 pages of menu, you're going, this, you know what I mean? Like this is too much, and I think that's what they were trying to do.
It feels like a Chinese takeaway in Ireland.
I'll get the spice bag, okay?
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, looking at this now that you're saying about Codex, we'll go to the next segment here, but Claude Code versus Codex. Developers are switching it. It's not a big switch. Like there's a lot of people talking about it, but I can tell you, I've started myself using it, particularly when I've started, whenever Claude Code does something, I then get Codex to evaluate it. And it finds a lot of things that need, they talk about AI slop. There's a lot of slop there that needs to be cleaned up. And it does a really good job about it. And I cannot remember the last time I hit a usage limit with Codex. With Claude, I hit it daily.
Right.
So I don't know what they're doing, but and really people are not switching because Claude Code has gotten worse. Right? Well, I mean, there was that dumbing down for a small bit, remember? Because everyone switched there and they dumbed it down.
It's not dumbing down. It was March. There's a 2 particular issue with that. They find out and now which is dumber. The people find out is dumber. It's 2 very particular issue hit it together. We can talk about that next time if everyone wants to listen about it. And
then a perfect storm there almost,
Yeah.
I mean, those 2 issues, and then on top of that, changing usage limits, and then changing peak times. So you had
that's a big
So when you have all of that coming in, and you're going like, and if you had it for a workflow, so I know like people are paying the $200 a month, and they were saying they were only getting 11 or 12 days of usage.
But that kind of explain why Codex, their user base has gained about like 200 or 300% since January. Every month they have more and more user into it. Especially a lot of user like using GPT-5.5 with Codex, which I'm very much logged out of OpenAI world at the moment. The last subscription I have with them is probably a year ago, so I can't really give any.
I never cancel them, Jinshaw. I never cancel mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a try with Codex?
No, I just went straight in with it. I mean, they didn't give me any extra that I'm aware of. But like I said, I've not hit limits. But I mean, both my wife and I use it. She has it on her phone, and I have it on mine, which is kind of unusual because then it's giving some, her, it's mixing what she's doing and what I'm doing. But then I jumped onto the Codex and I tried it, and you could do this adversarial code review, which is amazing because when you make it doesn't do it as Claude Code's doing it. So before, if you've made change or Claude Code's made changes, and this is a problem as well with Claude Code, is it makes changes in things you've not asked it to change, and so you have to be really careful reading through everything before you agree. But one of the things it does before you commit to GitHub, it will review the different files, and then it will say, why did you do this? Why did you do that? This is, and then basically I grab that bit, and I either say Claude Code fix it if I have usage, or I just ask Codex to fix it, and it'll fix it.
Do you find, like what I find, since I've been using Cursor and anti-gravity before and now moved to Claude Code, do you think the Codex is in between anti-gravity and Claude Code? What I mean by that is, I know Claude Code, when you're using it, you have to really go into how to use it. It's kind of deeper, thicker menu to using a most efficient way. But anti-gravity kind of like, you just tell them, and you don't need to install skills. You can just using it, but there's a downside as well, right? But like, is the Codex is more kind of easier. You don't need to concern too much to use.
Yeah, they don't have skills that I've seen. They said you can, and I think you and I were talking about this today, because obviously when you're using Claude Code, there's the context window that can be issued in MCP servers. And the thing is that I've not seen any of that inside of Codex at the moment. But one thing that, so like if you have like claude.md file for, what you've done, they've got agents.md, which is pretty much the same thing except the name. But no, I guess it is a happy medium, though. The GPT-5.5 model is very good. It's very, very. So I will say that now, I don't know if this is a competitive issue or this is a real issue, but anytime I've asked it to review code that Claude has done, when I've asked Codex to review it, it's always a no ship. It's always a no ship. The code's not ready, no ship. And I'm thinking, is it really? Or are you just saying that so we switch over to you? But I don't know. What do you think, Jinshaw?
I don't know. We can try it. Like I maybe can go into my Claude Code says you are Codex. But the other thing is, like, does Codex has IDE, like you can put it into like a VS
No,
Code?
it's CLI. It's CLI basically. It's all CLI. Yeah. The same thing, like Gemini has come out with their CLI as well, and you can use that as well. So I kind of pit the three against each other. I got the little triangle going there. So I got Gemini because at work, and then I've got Claude work, and then I got my Codex that I paid myself, and I get all three and say, hey, check, Gemini just did this. What do you think? Or hey, Gemini, check this work, and it does get better because there's things that it misses and issues, and it does fix it. So
I think the reason I ask is because from my background, when we're doing infrastructure and check and all that, setup and all that, not just code, I find anti-gravity is really easy to use.
It is.
Claude Code as well. You can do that. You can do that in the VS Code as a plugin, so that would be easier. The reason I want to see that, I really like the anti-gravity, how you run it, and then you can run it in a window, and then it does everything in that terminal. You can see it. But Claude Code sometimes kind of output to a file. It runs this, but you don't see what it runs. You have to go into the file and see it. But anti-gravity kind of like you have window, run everything inside that window into that terminal.
Yeah, they're not brought in as much. Yeah.
Yeah. What that does for me is I can go into servers, SSH into them, and then if you can still using your AI to help you troubleshoot a lot of things really, really quickly, and not just coding side. I think not many people knows that. That's really useful. And then and then the Claude Code itself, when you're using it inside the VS Code, you can do that as well. SSH to servers and do that, but it just doesn't give you that output. It just randomly push into a file, and you have to find the file, but it leaves a whole lot of trace, and you just can't see what's going on at that moment in the terminal. So that's what I was saying is
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's slightly less useful.
Codex, you should have a plugin as well. I'd say, Jinchao. I mean, if I can tell you, I mean, I'm loving the competition between Anthropic and OpenAI, because they're just fighting each other, and obviously competition is good because it benefits us, because they want to be better, they want to get more, they're trying to be, go.
Is it benefit? We have to have Trace subscription now.
Well, there is that, Jinchao. But yeah, it is. But I mean, if you think about it, right? If you go to like a pro plan, right, and you're going to pay $200 a month, where you can pay $60 or euros a month, and you get 3 separate models doing, that's where I'm at with that. Like, go check this out, go look at this, and go do, I'm finding it very, very good. And I was going to say, there's a split 65-35 towards going towards Anthropic on Reddit. There was a server, they had a developer survey, 500 plus, and more and more developers are going to Codex, which is, at the end of the day, then what's going to happen is Claude Code is going to start doing stuff better to win their customers back. You know what I mean? To win people back.
Yeah, they will. I mean, I don't know any of our audience knows. For Claude Code, you can use Claude Code, but not using their service. As what I mean by that is, you don't need to use Claude inside the Claude Code, so you can use third party like Minimax, Kimi, any of the cheap ones out there. You can plug it in, and they have that whole environment set up. They connect their language model, connect to the MCP themselves inside to mimic the Claude search and everything. You use it, and you wouldn't tell any difference. I use Minimax on that at home, so the package very generous on API calls, not tokens. And so by saying that, the Claude is the only company does that. Cursor doesn't do it. Cursor, you have to subscribe to their pro level, so you can use third-party APIs. And so if you pay 20, why not just pay other place? Anti-gravity doesn't have the option to use any other than Gemini. And they including Claude, but like that's it. You can't configure anything else. I could be wrong, but I was trying to put Minimax inside. Maybe they just don't have support for Chinese models, but like they might have for Bedrocks, for similar models. And then Codex, I don't think they're gonna open it up to other models. Probably just GPT models.
Their own models. Yeah. Well, Well, one thing I was going to say, I'm reading here, Jinchao, on a real world Express JavaScript file refactoring test. Claude Code, when the refactoring used 6.2 million tokens. Codex did the same work with only 1.5 million tokens.
Did he just delete it? Think about this shit. Let me delete it.
That's right. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Yeah. I mean, that's a real. I mean, that's a 4 times cost difference. You know what I mean? And for organizations that they're trying to save. Yourself, like try save don't be hitting those token limits, and that's the new. Before it was cryptocurrency, now it's tokens. The new currency.
I know, like Claude, let's say 4.7, probably not as expensive as GPT 5.5. I know their price is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, there's nothing worse that you're trying to do something and then you're in the middle of it and then you run out of usage or tokens. Like, what do I do now? And I'm always looking. I've added a few things on my screen when I'm using Claude Code that shows me where my usage is, hitting that clear or compact context, which we were talking about today. Like, looking at all these things to make sure that I'm not hitting that usage limit.
So right now we, instead of the swear jar or beer money, we should have an AI budget now.
Token money.
Otherwise, there's no way you can try them all. You don't know.
I agree with you, man. Like, that's just crazy,
Yeah.
Well, the last thing we have to talk about here, and it's still in the same vein, is that now we're seeing that GPT 5.5 matches Mythos on cyber benchmarks.
Oh.
And to me, when I look at that now, I'm not 100% sure. Now, I'll be honest with the audience out there. Like, I've not looked at this in complete detail. The headline is there; it grabs you. But I'm just thinking, like, well, how much do you pay for Mythos, and how much do you pay for?
It's not open yet. It's
well,
not.
How do they benchmark it the same?
Good question.
It's only on cybersecurity evaluations.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, they're taking their valuation just from the papers. Okay, and now let me beat that. But like, nobody really evaluate. It's a good point you talked about early on, right? Musk was admit, okay, we did this to Grok, stealing from, let's say, OpenAI, right? So that's probably why Claude didn't want to release to the public. So in terms of other AI company can do the distillation and create it just as good model as that.
For a lot less money.
Right? So if OpenAI release this, very soon we expect, okay, maybe DeepSeek very soon will have a model too.
Kimmy or Minimax or someone, yeah. Yeah.
So
or XAI.
could be that too, right? So
yeah.
That could be dangerous. I don't know. Like, people using it for hacking around systems, not that. Yeah. But if you are a high value target, probably yes. But if your business is less than the token cost, probably not.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not worth it. There's a, I'm not going to call it a barrier to entry, but there's a minimum level of profit that has to be made in order to,
Imagine those security risks now evaluate your business. Let's say, how much is that? Let me calculate with my GPT tokens. Oh, no, they're not going to hack you. It's too much.
Yeah, we'll use this model instead. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is interesting. I think it's interesting the point of view of that it's this rivalry between the two. And at the end, we, the users, are going to benefit from that. And I remember we were talking. I mentioned it earlier, Jinshan, about it was OpenAI that made a deal with AWS, and they have a lot of servers that they can use for AI. And I know that from what I've been reading, that Anthropic is struggling to get AI servers. So that's why they're trying to get people to not use as much. That's why it costs more, because they don't have the infrastructure that OpenAI has.
But not many places on Earth they can put it now, right? Because right now US has problem with policymakers bringing in those AI centers with power. Like we talk about transformers, it's going to be a transformer war. Not those transformers, but like to transform electricity to
AI transformers, not the Decepticons.
It's it's electricity transformers for that. And then look at Europe. We have electricity issue, like power problems, right? So it's not going to plant here. And where can you put it? Like big resource countries, Russia, no, right? You know what happened there.
Yeah.
And China, no, is rivalry, definitely not. So like the
outer space is what Elon is saying. They're going to put it out in space.
Yeah, even the Dubai, all those places before, like United Arabs was talking about invest plenty on AI. They do, but like the war issue now, that's get people double.
They're not as safe as they thought they were. Yeah.
Yeah, and now where can you actually put it? You know, like all the places close to the central line there, right? And Malaysia, all those is too warm. You can't really put there. So space is the answer.
Latin America.
But if they want it, definitely that's the place too. Like, I don't know.
All right. Well, we're coming to the end of our show. I want to thank our audience for joining us today. I've been seeing a lot of people coming in and out. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them on our stream there, and we'll answer them. Remember, we are sponsored by Tequila AI. So good group of people. Jinxiao, thank you. Great conversation as always. Thank you, audience, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
Bye.